All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody? All my people in Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, all the way to Staten Island, my homeboro Brooklyn. Back at with another video. And today marks the 20th anniversary of the release of one of my all-time favorite films, and a film that's not really appreciated as a cult film, a cult classic that I think it is. Four Brothers, directed by the late great John Singleton, starring Mark Wahlberg as the oldest brother Bobby Mercer, the legendary rapper Andre 3000 as Jeremiah Jerry Mercer, Tyrese Gibson as Angel Mercer, and the youngest brother is played by Garrett Hudlin. He plays Jack Mercer. Of course, they were in the movie. The Mercer brothers were adopted by an older woman named Evelyn Mercer, and they were raised together as brothers in Detroit, Michigan. After nobody wanted them, nobody adopted them, so Evelyn decided to adopt them herself. And she gets murdered, and the brothers reunite to find out what exactly happened and go investigate and go find her killers because they don't trust the police will. Early on in the movie, this is a very touching scene. The brothers are eating Thanksgiving dinner. They're all praying about to say grace, and Tyrese or Angel, Jerry, Andre 3000, and Jack, Garrett Hedlund, they all see visions of their mother, giving them advice, telling them to chew with their mouth closed and don't get too many tattoos. And she tells Jack that he's safe now, implying that Jack was abused at a previous foster home. Everybody sees her except for Bobby. Okay, but that's going to come back later at the end of the movie. Meanwhile, they're at the bar and they're trying to find out what exactly happened, who knows something, witnesses and everything. Jerry decides to leave because he doesn't want to he's done with the gangster stuff. Okay, these four brothers growing up, they were in trouble in the streets a lot. Some of them embrace a criminal lifestyle. But Jerry, Jerry, played by Andre 3000, he's trying to go straight. He's trying to start up his own business. But we're going to get to that later in the movie. While you've seen the movie, you know what goes down. Jerry leaves, so the bartenders have to take his seat and tell the three what happened. They go down to some high school party. They weapon up, and they go confront somebody who knows something. This young man, who says there's no way a witness could have saw what happened, could have been playing basketball and saw the murder happen because the basketball court lights shut off at 10. At 10, so they go see if he's telling the truth. It's 10 o'clock. The lights don't shut off immediately. But after a few seconds, they do. And they tell him he's lucky and to get the fuck on. The next day, the four brothers reunite at a bodega to go see the security cam footage of what happened. And unfortunately, they got to see their mother, not their biological mother, but the woman who raised them. So that's basically their mother, gets shot and killed. It's very tragic. The owner of the bodega, he tells them that the witness, he never wears coats. He plays basketball, and he comes in his bodega after games for a Gatorade. And he has an afro like Ben Wallace of the Detroit Pistons. Again, this movie was 2005. And the brothers begin to realize that this was no random robbery, that she was executed and set up. So they go to a basketball game and start asking some questions. In a rather hilarious scene, Mark Wahlberg grabs the basketball and says, "Yeah, I got the rock now. I got this motherfucker now. What? A basketball player steps to him. Mark Wahlberg throws the basketball in his face and wrestles him to the ground. All the ball players try to jump him, but Bobby ends up pulling out a gun. He said, whoa, don't grab me. I just want to ask some questions about this cat named Damien. Damien, he plays basketball, never wears coats. And Damien's brother, Keenan, he hears all this. He says, oh, shit. He decides to dip. But Jack sees him, but Jack and Angel see him. And Jack begins chasing him down the hallway, but he's stopped by Angel. Then all the brothers surround him and confront him, asking some questions about Damien. Where can they find him? He tells them, and while they wait for Damien in the car, Andre 3000 or Jerry, he tells them, look, I got to take my girls to a dance recital. Come on, man. And they clown him a little bit. You know how brothers are. Just playful teasing. So that just leaves Bobby, Angel, and Jack to confront Damien. Damien's waiting for the elevator. Bobby foolishly pulls out a gun, says, yo, you Damien? And Damien takes off, as anybody would if somebody came up to him with a gun, talking about, yo, what's your name? Are you Damien? Are you Michael? Are you Malik? Know what I mean? And Angel tells Bobby, "Yo, man, you gotta stop pulling out the gun on everybody." Bobby follows him up to the sixth floor, but Damien's got something for him. He's got some dogs. Bobby shoots at him, but the dogs avoid the bullets and jump on Bobby, start biting them. Angel comes up and grabs fire extinguisher to scare off the dogs. Meanwhile, Damien tries to escape with a rope out of the wind, with a rope tied. He climbs out the window of his building. He shoots at Bobby. Bobby says, "Fuck this." He grabs a butcher's knife and cuts the rope, and Damien falls, injuring his legs. The brothers turn their backs on him, and Damien's begging, pleading for help. Jack turns around, and they told him not to do that. We're just trying to intimidate and scare him. And they end up turning around to go ask him some questions about the shooters. They go to this restaurant, bar, whatever the fuck this is, casino, whatever, and they see the shooters. The shooters also see them. Tells them, "Hey, yo, man, check out the cats at the door." And the light skinned brother pulls out a gun and shoots at them, and they run off. And that leads to a very epic car chase scene in this Detroit blizzard snow. Well, for all you who don't know, this movie, yes, it was filmed in Detroit, but also some parts of the film were filmed in Toronto and Hamilton, Ontario. So, this could be Detroit, this could be Canada. This scene right here, we don't know. The dark-skinned brother fires shots at Angel, Bobby, and Jack. Angel also fires some shots at them, and he ends up hitting the driver in the back of the shoulder. And he begins swerving. They pull up next to him. They begin ramming the car, trying to get the car to flip over, and eventually it does. And the two shooters are injured. Bobby and Angel go confront them, ask them about who killed their mom. They said, "Fuck you, we ain't telling." And Bobby and Angel end up killing them. And they walk out in a very cool shot in the snow with the snow all in their face, and they flee the scene. Later on, we're introduced to Victor Sweet in this restaurant. And he said, "Out of town shooters. That's what I asked for. You don't pay a hoe to fuck you. You pay her to leave." Which is honestly the first time I ever heard that line, and that line stuck with me ever since. The first time I ever heard that line, "You don't pay a hoe to fuck you, you pay her to leave," was in this movie, and it stuck with me ever since, and I've used it frequently. What do you pay out of town shooters for? To get the hell out of town. That's why I asked for out of town shooters. But what I get for my money? In town shooters, in town police, in town trouble. And while he's talking, this fat brother right here, Evan, he decides to keep eating, and Victor Sweet gets angry and decides to humiliate him. Dogs got to eat, right? Eat, dog, eat. He takes his plate, throws food on the floor, tells him to eat like a good dog, humiliating him. But not only does he humiliate him, his wife speaks up, tries to stand up for her husband, and she ends up humiliating the bitch too by making her eat with her husband. And then later in a pivotal scene, this guy from this insurance company comes to ask questions, and Angel finds out that Jerry once again, Andre 3000's character, got a huge life insurance policy check for their mom's death. Jack and Bobby go to the shooter's apartment, try to learn some more information, and they bring back a bag full of guns and a camera. And that's when Jerry pulls up, asks them, "What y'all done to mom's house? Y'all made it a mess." They pull out this camera and find out the shooters have been tracking their mom for weeks, and that the mom has been talking with the lawyer more than the lawyer initially let on in the movie. Again, for all you who haven't seen the movie, there was a scene early on in the movie where this lawyer here, the character's name was Robert Bradford, gives them all their mother's belongings, all the stuff that the mother wanted them to have. But he lies to them and tells them he only met her once, which obviously that's not true. That's when Angel pulls up and confronts Jerry. "Yeah, Jerry, don't you want to go find out who killed mom?" They end up going to Robert Bradford's house to get some more information. That's when Angel's crazy ass girlfriend, Sophie, played by Sofia Vergara, starts honking the horn like, "Angel, come out, you idiot. I know you're in there. People, there's robbers in the house." While they're doing her crazy ass, Robert Bradford pulls up, and Bobby pulls him out of his car, Stands on the ground, covers his face with his own jacket and shirt, starts slapping his stomach, leaving a big red handprint on it. And the guy says, "I just felt so guilty. I didn't want to sully your mother's reputation. We've been seeing each other socially, and I feel your mother's night things." And she starts panicking like a bitch. And Bobby's like, "What? Bro, I don't want to know anything about that stuff." a later scene, in a later scene, Bobby, Angel, and Jack are all at the bowling alley, and Angel tells Bobby that Jerry got a huge life insurance check for Mom's death, which of course angers Bobby and raises suspicions. See Jerry giving some money to Evan, who of course works for Victor Sweet. They confront Evan and ask for the money, ask for the envelope of money. He says, "What envelope?" And Bobby puts his hand on his gun, like, "You don't play that fucking game with me right now? We're gonna do this here, right now." And Evan ends up handing over the envelope of money. This guy right here is Councilman Douglas. Councilman Douglas is the one who ended up getting Jerry's projects shut down, but we're gonna get to that later. Jack and Bobby confront this guy, and he gives them Victor Sweet's name. And Victor Sweet's, of course, pulling him by his knife, like pulling by his tie. "Did you tell them my name?" "Yes, you did, you stinking coward. I smelled it when you came down here. Now go sit at a kiddie table," humiliating him, and then ultimately kills him. And this is by far, hands down, my favorite scene in the movie. Of all the scenes I've covered, this is by far my favorite one in this whole movie. Jerry pulls up to the house because his brother asked him to be there. He asks him what's going on, and Angel tells him, we know what you did." And Jerry tells him, "No, y'all know who y'all fucking with. Where's Bobby?" Bobby comes out of nowhere and snuffs the hell out of Jerry, knocking him to the ground. And he tells him, "I'm going to kill you, Jerry, right here and now. If I find out you have something to do with my getting killed." And Jerry tells him everything's going down, that he tries to start his own business, his own company. Victor Sweet found out, wanted to take a piece. So Councilman Douglas, who of course worked for Victor Sweet, shut it down. And that their mother Evelyn took out the life insurance policy for Jerry's daughters, so they'll have money in case something bad happened because Jerry's business didn't work out. And Jerry was going to use the money to pay off Victor Sweet's goons until they fucked it up. Well, they're arguing about that. Now that somebody comes to the door, telling them that their mother was a whore and flips them off. Jack says, "Fuck you, man." The guy throws a snowball at Jack's face. Jack goes to confront the guy. The guy wins. Just play it. This brother in the Jason mask pulls out a gun and shoots Jack. Jack falls to his knees. He's about to shoot Jack in the dome until Bobby comes out and kills the guy in the Jason mask. That's when a van of more killers pull up, and everybody runs to the house. Jack tries to get up, but the killers shoot him some more, and Jack falls to the ground, screaming Bobby's name for help. They begin shooting at the house. Sophie gives Angel the guns. Jerry, he didn't want to be involved in any of this shit. He's tired of the gangster lifestyle, but he has no choice. A shooter sneaks into the house trying to kill them, and Jerry ends up stabbing him to death. Meanwhile, Angel is shooting at guys from upstairs. Bobby's shooting at them from behind a brick wall. His gun runs out, and Bobby grabs a brick to sow one of the shooters with a brick. He starts beating them down when one of the shooters gets up and tries to kill Bobby, but Angel comes out and kicks the gun away. Angel grabs Bobby because this guy, the driver in the van, is ready to run him over, but then Jerry comes up clutch. He uses his own car to knock away the driver, excuse me. I mean, all the brothers surround Jack, ask him if it's okay, everything's all right. Jack smiles one last time, then he dies from his gunshot wounds. They all start crying. Sophie's calling 911. Bobby grabs a gun, asks the driver that Victor Sweet sent you. He says, "Yeah, Sweet sent us." And then he ends up killing the driver. Anyway, this is Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard plays a character named Lieutenant Greed. He and his partner, Detective Fowler, were the lead men on the murder of the Evelyn Mercer case. And Lieutenant Greed finds out that Fowler's in the pocket of Victor Sweet and that he's a dirty cop. So Lieutenant Green confronts him. He hits him across his back with the pull stick. takes his gun and badge. But little does he know that Fowler had another gun, and he shoots Lieutenant Green. And he goes, officer down, blackmail, typical blame a black man situation. The brothers back at the house still grieving the death of Jack, but they try to come up with another plan to take out Victor Sweet and Fowler. So Jerry collects the rest of the money. He goes to a meeting with Victor Sweet and tries to pay him off, try to get him to stop shooting the brothers, the Mercer brothers. Meanwhile, Angel breaks into Fowler's house, puts a plastic bag over his head, and he gets Fowler to confess that he killed Lieutenant Green. Meanwhile, Sophie's at the police station telling them that her boyfriend's planning on killing a cop. And when the cop sirens approach Fowler's house, Fowler thinks he's safe, but then Angel shows he was wearing a wire, and that your time is up. I got your confession on tape, on wire. Meanwhile, at the meeting with Victor Sweet, Victor Sweet asked Evan for a gun so he can just kill Jerry, and all Victor Sweet's henchmen turn on him. Jerry tells him that we're going to split this $400,000 and split it amongst all these mistreated workers. He says, Evan, pistol. And Evan says, no, bitch. One thing you forgot about me, I was in the union for a long time. And Victor Sweet says, I told Fowler and his friends all about this meeting. You kill me, you all go down. Murder. He's already running late, and Jerry tells him he's not coming. So Victor Sweet starts acting crazy. It's like, which one of you suckers is going to take on the champ? While when the cops arrive, Fowler thinks they're there to arrest him, so he starts shooting at them. Angel breaks away. He's about to kill Angel, but one of the guys end up killing Fowler. Honestly, one of the most satisfying and gratifying deaths I've ever seen watching a movie. The movie. Meanwhile, while Victor Sweet's talking shit, Bobby comes up and he decides to take on Victor Sweet and try to avenge his mother. He ends up knocking out Victor Sweet. Victor Sweet and his former henchmen take his body and put him in the water under the ice. The cops are interrogating the brothers about the murder of Victor Sweet. Meanwhile, Sofia Vergara and Taraji P. Henson, who plays Jerry's wife Camille, they're demanding that they see their husband and boyfriend and brother-in-law. At the end of the movie, all the brothers are reunited at the house, trying to fix up the house after the shooting. And Bobby sees his mother, because Bobby's finally been able to accept her death and move on. And thus the movie ends. Great movie by, of course, directed by, of course, the late great John Singleton, and great performances from Mark Wahlberg, Tyrese, Andre 3000, and Garrett Hedlund. I really got the vibe that they were brothers, that they were raised together. Of course, they're not blood brothers, but they were adopted and they were raised together. They definitely did a good job getting off that vibe. But, to me, this movie's not really appreciated as a cult classic. I mean, the movie I'm looking, it did had a $30 million budget, made $92.5 million at the box office, so it did well, but I don't think it's remembered as fondly, which is a shame because it's a great movie, very enjoyable movie, just for me. Also had a great score. Of course, the movie's set in Detroit, so most of the soundtrack is old, Motown artists like the Temptations, the Four Tops, the Jackson 5, Marvin Gaye, so on and so forth, the Miracles. Also a bit of hip hop. Mixed into the soundtrack. But guys, tell me, did you like it? Did you enjoy this movie? Like, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, and each scene I went through are my favorite scenes of this movie. Never get tired of it. Love it to death. Rest in peace, John Singleton. Thank you for this great film. Tyrese said a few years ago that they're working on a script for a sequel called Five Brothers, and I don't know if that would work because the movie's called Four Brothers, and one of the brothers ended up getting killed. So I don't know how that would work. But guys, tell me what you think. What's your favorite scene in the movie? I already told you mine. It was the shooting at the house. They were trying to take down all the killers, all the shooters. I thought that was a cool scene. I also thought the scene with the car chase scene with the snow was very cool. Probably my second favorite scene in this movie. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Your brother go on YouTube. I'm going to see you all.